Individual retirement accounts, or IRAs, were created to let you save tax-deferred until age 70 and a half. At that time, you were required by law to begin withdrawing funds and start paying taxes. If you ignored these distribution requirements, you face severe penalties. The IRS wanted you to withdraw all of your money and pay all of your taxes before you died. This simply did not fit into the plans of many IRA owners. Fortunately, new rules allow you to shrink your taxes and stretch tax deferral by stretching your IRA distributions over time. To understand the magic of stretching out your IRA distributions over time, consider the magic of tax deferral and compounding. Over 60 years, an IRA balance of $200,000, earning an 8% rate of return, will pay out close to $5 million. The problem was that under the old rules, it was difficult, if not impossible, for many IRA owners to stretch out their IRA distributions over 60 years or over other long periods of time. Those rules forced many IRA owners to take their distributions over much shorter periods. This meant that even people who did not need their IRA distributions to support their lifestyle had to take those distributions anyway. Subsequently, they lost the benefits of tax deferral and compounding with regard to those distributions. Now you can use new rules to stretch out your IRA distributions, giving compounding and tax deferral more time to work for you and your heirs. Consider an IRA owner age 71. Assume that his IRA balance is $200,000 and that he does not have a beneficiary. Under the old rules, using the term certain method, he was required to take a distribution of $13,060 from his IRA. This is fine if this money had been needed to maintain his lifestyle. But what if his other sources of income were sufficient to meet his needs? It didn't matter. He still would have been forced to take the distribution from his IRA and pay any taxes due. Not only must he pay tax on a distribution he didn't need, he also loses the benefits of future tax deferral and compounding on the amount distributed. To make matters worse, in the future, he would see the amounts of his minimum distributions increase annually. Each year, more and more of this IRA balance must be distributed, and each year less and less money remains to benefit from future tax deferral and compounding. While he can't altogether avoid taking a distribution on his IRA, under the new rules, the amount he is required to distribute could be $7,900 in this example. That's 39% fewer dollars distributed, which means 39% fewer dollars subject to current taxation. And there are 39% more dollars that will continue to benefit from future tax deferral and compounding. Under the new rules, he will also face annual increases in the amount he is required to distribute, but the amounts increase more slowly than under the old rules. Considering the tremendous advantages of tax deferral and compounding, you may be wondering, is there a way to stretch distributions over an even longer period of time? To answer this question, let's change this individual's circumstances and assume that instead of no beneficiary, he named his son as the beneficiary of his IRA. Again, the primary consideration in this illustration is that this IRA owner does not need distributions from his IRA to maintain his lifestyle. With this in mind, he uses the new rules to elect to have the distribution stretched over his life and his son's life. As expected, the father predeceases his son. As the beneficiary, the son can elect to stretch the distribution over his remaining life expectancy. As a relatively young man with a long life expectancy, his annual distributions are less than what his father had been required to distribute. Again, this means more money is left in the IRA to benefit from future tax deferral and compounding. Compare the tax effect of the son paying income taxes on the smaller distribution amounts that he is required to take each year to what would have occurred if his father had died without naming a beneficiary. Under those circumstances, the IRA would have been liquidated, with possibly 1/3 or more being taken by the IRS in taxes. Depending on individual circumstances, there may be an opportunity to stretch distributions over an even longer period of time. Here's how. Assume the son has a daughter whom he names as his own beneficiary. As long as he predeceases his daughter, she receives the remaining IRA balance, effectively spreading the proceeds over 3 generations. These new rules can provide a tremendous opportunity for families interested in using the benefits of tax deferral and compounding to build wealth over generations. Now that the new rules provide these opportunities, is there anything standing in the way of stretching out your IRA distributions? Possibly. You see, even though the IRS allows it, there are financial institutions that won't let you stretch out your distributions. To successfully structure your IRA distributions to take full advantage of the new rules, you must first make sure that your IRA provider allows it, or find one that does. Finding the right IRA provider isn't the end of the process, only the beginning. IRA distributions and the rules concerning taxation can be complicated and confusing. Mistakes can have serious tax consequences. The best course of action might be to rely on the advice of a retirement planner who can help you decide the best way to structure your IRA so that it is coordinated with your overall planning goals and objectives. Taking advantage of the new rules for stretching IRA distributions over time is not for everyone. But if you already have all the income you need to maintain your lifestyle, and you want to take advantage of tax deferral and compounding for as long as you can, then it may be worth your time to learn more about these new IRA rules.